About the fact that your 17 to 19 targets in terms of the restructuring are on target. Are you ahead of target, would you say, at this stage, or would you say you're on target at this stage?
Good morning. Good morning. That is difficult to judge. The good thing is that we're delivering on the targets. The return on equity, which we said will be above 12%, is already at 12.5%, stripping off the one-off of the Aug.10 adjustments in UK. On the cost reduction, where we indicated 1.5 billion, we're already at 550 million after slightly more than 1 year of a 4-year target. On cash remittances, we're well on track for that. So overall, we feel good about the indicated targets, and we are confident that we will deliver on all of them and possibly exceeding them.
OK, let's talk about the strategy. What role will acquisitions play in the strategy? I'm just looking at some of the comments coming off the media call, which you just finished a couple of moments ago. We're in the market for acquisitions, you say, but no need for acquisitions for the strategy. Just in terms of kind of how pivotal M&A is going to be, how central is it to your thinking going forward for this business?
We have a strategy which is not based on acquisition. We don't need any acquisition. I got a previous question on do we have gaps that we have to fill through acquisition. The answer is no, we don't feel we have any gap. Through this year, we have sold 2 businesses, 2 portfolios, and we have made 2 acquisitions. All these transactions made perfect sense to us. They all added value, the sales and the acquisitions, and we will continue being extremely disciplined. We committed to improve returns to shareholders through this plan horizon, and we will be very disciplined in doing exactly that.
If you don't need any acquisitions, and you're already on or ahead of target as far as your cost cuts are concerned, plus you're beating expectations for profits, can you return money to shareholders then, more money to shareholders in the form of a higher dividend or share buybacks?
So look, Zurich has had a dividend unchanged 17 francs for a very, very long time. When I joined a year ago, all discussions were about dividend cuts. And I heard lots of questions on where the dividend cuts news will be seen out. In November last year, we presented a strategy, and we talked about dividend growth, not at all cuts, and we're committed to that. So as part of the plan, we're committed to remunerate shareholders through sustained increased dividends, and we want to deliver on that.
All right, let me ask about something that maybe is political or cultural for the company. The former chief, Michael Leese, has been elected or has been nominated for election as chairman. I wonder what your reaction to this is and what it means for Zurich's DNA.
So the Zurich board has run a very thorough and professional process assessing candidates and has identified Michel Leese as the best candidate to propose to the AGM. We look forward. We welcome Michel, and if the AGM will confirm his appointment as the chairman, I'm sure that we will work extremely well with him, and I will personally also have that pleasure.
Can I just take you back, Mario, to the M&A story? And again, you've been asked about this already this morning, and you haven't exactly provided us with a huge amount of details, which is completely understandable. But let's talk about ANZ. Let's talk about assets that you could be potentially in the market for. Is the ANZ wealth business the kind of business that you would be looking at?
Again, I don't want to comment on any specific transaction. The only thing that I want to say on top of it is that we only do the things that we're good at doing, and we only do things that will be accretive for our shareholders and will confirm our strong capital discipline. Other than that, I really don't want to comment on anything.
But in terms of, could you give me anything on the types of businesses? Is it a pretty open field? There's all kinds of businesses that are out in front of you, or is there a specific area that you might be focusing on?
We're not focusing on anything because, as I said, I mean, the strategy that we have is grounded on what we have already today. We're executing on it without the need of any acquisition. The transactions that we have made are transactions that made good sense for us and for our shareholders, either because we sold businesses that were not performing extremely strongly for us, or that were not highly integrated strategically for us, or vice versa, because we purchased some units like Covermore recently that can fit extremely well in our business model. And that's the way we will continue operating.
I want to ask finally about the Swissy. You're talking about the strength of your returns in local currency. Obviously, there's been a lot of action in the currency lately, post-reporting period, really. But how do you think you're dealing with that as far as hedges are concerned, and how much more difficult does it make your business to see these kinds of currency moves?
Yeah, currencies have moved a lot. I mean, honestly, so far, currencies have helped us on the P&L, although they have hide some of our business growth, which has been lost in currency movements. We don't hedge. We have a natural hedge, which is the balance of our business. I think it's a good thing for Switzerland, and now the Swiss franc is less strong against the euro. I think this is something that helps the Swiss economy continuing in its strong developments. But in a balanced business like we have, at the end of the day, currencies don't make a strong difference.